Any recommendations on starting my locks? I would suggest starting as soon as possible because you have actually like a good 4 to 6 months before your hair is densely locked, so you can comb it out if you don't like it. And I feel like that's better than 6 months down the line and you haven't started and you still want locks. You could have had 6 months under your belt. Hi guys, and thanks for tuning into my channel. Today I'm going to be answering a lot of questions that I've got about my locks and my lock journey. Make sure that you trim off any dead ends before you start your process, especially if you're going to do the 2-strand twist method, because not only is your hair going to stay twisted if your ends are healthy, it's also going to look a lot prettier when it locks. If you have any heat damage, the ends of your lock won't curl and they may look a little bit like fuzzy and like they probably still will look dead. I had that at the top of my hair and I had to bend my hair, like the ends of my hair upward, and crochet them in because the ends just looked a little bit too straggly. I have one lock that I did bend it and crochet it, but then I ended up taking the crochet out. That one is this one, so you can kind of see doesn't look as healthy as, say, a lot of my healthy locks are like at the back, but let's say this one. You can still see a curl. I'm starting to lose some of my curly ends. I would suggest starting as soon as possible because you have actually like a good 4 to 6 months before your hair is densely locked, so you can comb it out if you don't like it. And I feel like that's better than 6 months down the line and you haven't started and you still want locks. You could have had 6 months under your belt. If you want to start your set on your own like I did, definitely have a friend help you with parting, because I did not. I was so spontaneous with doing it, which is what I do with everything in my life, and I did not care about parting. I have like really no clean straight parts in my set, which I like when they're down because it just looks like free. It doesn't look too intentional. But yeah, I definitely would recommend having someone help you with the parting in the back. But I actually do recommend starting your own locks because I feel like nobody really knows the various, you know, thickness and thinness of your hair except for you. The front right side of my hair is extremely thin. So on this side, I purposefully parted it thinner so that it would appear as thick as this side. And I feel like a loctician may have just parted my hair down the middle and did the same number on this side and this side. But this side actually has more locks. It still appears a little thinner, but it would have appeared even more thin if I did the same amount of locks on this side as I did on this side. So I took into consideration the thickness of my hair when I started my own set. Of course you can. Depending on how many locks you have, it could take you several hours, several days, several weeks, several months to take your locks out, but you can take them out. Of course, you're not going to retain all of your length. So when you take your locks out, you may lose a couple inches of hair, but you definitely don't have to cut your lock completely off. If you want to go back to loose natural hair, you can. I'm not sure how your curl pattern will look though. For example, my hair was 4B. It was kind of curly before I locked it, but I feel like if I were to comb these locks out right now, it will probably take a while to try to define that curl again because it's been kind of like matted for so long. So you can take a needle and you will just patiently pick at your hair until it loosens up until you get to the front or get to the top. Just because someone who has 67 locks like I liked their set doesn't mean that just because I get 67 locks that my set is going to look like their set, because their density of their hair could be a lot thicker than my density, or thinner than my hair, or curlier than my hair. Like, you can't really ask someone how many locks do you think I should get, because everyone's hair is different. Everyone has different number of strands of hair on their head. Everyone's texture is different. I can't even say the more locks you have, the thicker your hair will look, because that's not necessarily true. If your hair is thin, you can have a lot of locks and your hair will still look thin. If your hair is thick, you can have a little bit of locks and your hair will still look thick. So it really depends on your hair. I really don't think that you should go into your lock journey trying to have the same set as somebody else, because it's not going to happen. I have 67 locks, maybe 68, because I've combined some and I've uncombined some, so I have to count them all over again, but I'm pretty sure it's 67. If not 67, 68. The Barry Fletcher Lock Serum and a mixture of natural oils to retwist my hair and water. I want my hair to remain thick, and if I get my hair retwisted every 4 weeks, I think my hair is gonna, like the lock itself is gonna be a lot thinner than if I stretch it a few more weeks. But I really would like to go like 3-4 months without getting my hair retwisted, because then I feel like it'll be really, really thick. I just can never make it that long. Do you wash in between retwist? Yes, I wash my hair about 2 to 3 weeks after I get it retwisted. And what I'll do when I wash my hair is I'll grab the lock and I'll do like a quick roll. So let me just demonstrate. I'll grab the lock and I'll just go like this, and I'll put it in a hair tie, just so that I kind of like keep the parting, if that makes sense. And I don't even like that I do that, but I've just found that when I wash my own hair and I don't do that, the root gets so shrunken. I can't deal with it. It gets so shrunken and stiff. I think this depends on how thick and how mature your locks are, because if you just started your lock journey and your twists are not densely like locked yet, meaning like air can still pass through it pretty easily because it's just a twist, then I think that air drying is okay. But once your hair becomes completely locked, I do recommend sitting under the dryer to make sure that it's completely dry, because if you keep any type of moisture in your lock, it can actually mold, which is gross, and you'll get that moldy smell, and then you'll have to do an apple cider vinegar rinse to get that out. So I just sit under the dryer for at least an hour every time I get my hair retwisted, just to avoid that. I feel like the ends are pretty okay if you just let them air dry, because, well, for me, my ends are not, they're still not locked all the way, but I wouldn't let my roots air dry. I haven't had any issues with my 2-strand twist staying twisted, and I do believe it's because of my hair type. I have 4B hair, meaning that it's very curly, so even when I would twist my hair just for twist outs, they never unraveled. So I think it really depends on your hair type. If your hair type is like a 2B, 3B, maybe it'll be more tough for your twist to stay twisted, but I did not have that issue. I think those were all of the questions. Thank you guys for watching. Stay up to date with me on my Instagram. My Instagram is Jo Michelle Artistry. I'll put it right here. I hope you guys have a great day, and catch you at the next one.